Hey, okay, you'll not believe what happened. Big hit of nostalgia today. So, I was going through trying to find a movie to watch, and in the list was The Flight of Dragons. I have not seen this movie since I was a little kid. And of course, I watched it. So, this particular film, oh my goodness. It's it's a fantasy film, of course, with dragons. And it was produced and directed by Jules Bass and Arthur Rankin Jr. It was loosely combined with two different books, a speculative natural history book of the same name in 1979 by Peter Dickinson, with the novel The Dragon and the George 1976 by Gordon R. Dickson. I'll, of course, have this in the description below for you, so it makes more sense. It was released in 1982, and then in 1986, it was shown on ABC's Saturday Night Movie. Does anybody remember when that was when that was a thing? Oh goodness, good times. I remember Saturday because weekends it used to be pure entertainment, like the ABC Saturday Night Movie, and then on Sunday was Disney's. What Disney would do is on ABC, they would have their presentation of a movie of some kind. They would always have something. Now, in 2009, they had a made to order DVD, but from what I'm understanding, it was just recorded off of the VHS. And, or it could have been one of those eBay things. I don't know. It could have been, but it's hard to tell a lot of times because this says Warner Brothers had a made to order DVD in the US as part of a Warner Archive collection. But there were a lot of people that were selling on eBay too. So, yeah, a friend of mine said that she bought one and it was really poor quality. But anyway, yeah, because I remember I wanted to get, what was that movie? Peter No Tail. And there were a lot of people that were saying, do not buy this because it's somebody just recorded off of the VHS and it was a really poor quality VHS. Just like, oh, sad face. Guess I'm still watching it off YouTube then. Now, the opening song on this movie, this was during a time when a lot of these, like The Last Unicorn, even Watership Down, had opening songs. Even Unico had an opening song. Flight of the Dragons is sung by Don McLean. Yeah, it seems like Watership Down, it was Art Garfunkel who sang the song. And so the voice actors for this movie, some big names. John Ritter is the voice of of Peter, who is the chosen one. And Harry Morgan. Harry Morgan, if you're not familiar with him, he was Colonel Potter in MASH. And if that doesn't ring any bells, but you watch MASH, he was the one he always talked about the farm and he liked to paint and everything. And he always had that prize horse or whatever. He was the older fella. James Earl Jones is in this. However, it took me the entire movie to figure out who he was. You think with the dragons, there's going to be special equipment to mess with the voices and everything. I will tell you this, he's not one of the dragons. James Gregory is in this. I'm not familiar with who that is. Victor Buono is also in this. And yeah, there's some people that I'm not quite familiar, but those are the top names that they mention. Now, when it comes to the story itself. Basically, these characters live in like the nerve system, the main nerve system of where everything happens. And Carolinus, who is the Green Wizard, voiced by Harry Morgan, he is concerned that their magic is fading. So he contacts his three brothers for a meeting. Now, there is concern because one of them is known for his evil. And the other three brothers are the Blue Wizard Solarius, who is very Middle Eastern. And he has a very Middle Eastern look and everything. And he commands the heavens and seas. The Golden Wizard is Lo Tai Zhao, which he's Chinese, and he is light and air. And the Red Wizard, Omadon, and he's kind of a monster looking. And he, of course, is the forces of evil. Master of black magic and all that. Now, they propose in this meeting that they combine their powers to create a last realm of magic and hide it from the rest of the world. Now, when I was a little kid, none of this really made sense. You know, you kind of figure that they're trying to find a solution and it just upsets somebody, you know. But as an adult, I kind of get the idea that it's kind of like Land Before Time, where they move to someplace new, or kind of like in Dinosaur when they're moving. You know, remember that movie, the Disney movie Dinosaur, where they're just trying to go someplace better, you know? Why is it always dinosaur movies that I'm using for this? This is magic, not dinosaurs. But that's kind of what I was getting out of it. Well, anyway, it upset Omadon. He didn't want to do it. And unfortunate, well, not unfortunate, or else we wouldn't have a movie. Where they were is the antiquity, the place of antiquity. And they are not supposed to fight amongst themselves. Otherwise, chaos. So they decide, Carolinus says that they will send a group of heroes on a quest, and his dragon will be part of that. And then he then goes to antiquity, and antiquity says that the descendant of this person who helped the dragons speak will be the chosen one, that will help and everything. Well, Peter is, of course, the one, voiced by John Ritter, and he is from modern day, like 1982, modern day, and he lives in Boston. And he spends his time trying to make new board games. And he's like a fanatic of dragons and everything. And Carolinus brings him into their world. And that's when they find out that Omadon has turned all the dragons, except for 2, against everybody, as a way of stopping them from their quest. And, but of course that doesn't stop them. They continue. There's of course Princess Melisande and Peter. But that, of course, causes tension with Sir Oren, but not for long, because then Danielle comes in. These characters are wonderful. I absolutely love these characters. I love Giles the Elf. There's also Oh, who was. There was the wolf. I enjoyed the wolf. And, but, I mean, this band of heroes who went to stop Omadon and everything. So these characters are very well written and put together and everything. And one thing that I didn't remember when I was a kid, there's at one point where it's who is it? Carolinus is very concerned about the quest, and so he contacts the other two brothers, and you see the traditional writing of, like and it's not written in English. It's written in their writing, and I didn't remember that when I was little. So, but anyway, and one thing that I have seen a lot of people complain about is the rough animation. I actually like this kind of animation. You don't see it very much. The only other time that I've seen it is the Lord of the Rings animated films. I mean, it didn't last. And I know people are going to say, yeah, because it sucks. Touche. But it added more texture to it. To the to I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but and you look at the background and there was texture to that. And when you're doing a medieval fantasy, it seems to work, in my opinion. And that was also something for the Lord of the Rings. So I think in this case it does work. Could it work for others like Garfield or Transformers? I don't think so. And even for The Last Unicorn, no. I don't think it would have worked for The Last Unicorn. I absolutely adore The Last Unicorn. But if they had used this rougher animation, it would not have translated the same at all. Given the content of the story, the fact that it's dragons and the battles that's going on and everything and this quest and all of that, it works. Same with Lord of the Rings and what it is. The rougher texture and everything work. And that's why I like it. It's such a unique form of animation, and we didn't see it for very long. And it's very heartbreaking. So anyway, I watched it and it was just my heart was bursting with nostalgia. I think the last time I saw this I was 6 or 7 years old. And but anyway, I really hope you guys watch this, try and find it somewhere and watch um the um the Flight of Dragons. It is so worth it.